This radio program is PG-13. Parents strongly caution some material may be inappropriate for children under the age of 13.
The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona. This is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio again, HardcoreChristianity.com, Arizona Deliverance Center. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast today. Well done. Today's Bible study, setting dates for the end of the world, today on Hardcore. Please call somebody and tell them the radio program's on. I'll do my announcements and then we'll get into this interesting Bible study today. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. Been a counselor for over 40 years. The Deliverance Center is downtown Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road, right at the bus stop. It's a red brick building. HardcoreChristianity.com is the website. And we have 3 live Zoom services every week, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sundays. In the evenings, we have live services Thursday, Friday night at 7 p.m. every week. We have a children's healing service the first Saturday of every month at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we have deliverance training classes every Tuesday night at 6:30 and the fourth Saturday of the month at noon. My Sunday morning podcast, I hope you'll join me, is at 9 o'clock Pacific and Arizona time. I teach the deep things of God every Sunday morning, and I take your questions. Setting dates. Wow. We've been warned so many times, friend. You know, the Jehovah's Witnesses predicted the return of Christ 4 times. It never happened, and their followers never left them. It's unbelievable. We have had so many false prophets in the prophetic movement. It's not even funny. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how many false prophets. I think it was 13. I think I counted 13 or 14 that predicted Donald Trump would become elected president of the United States and Joe Biden beat him. They all predicted it. They said, God told me Donald Trump's going to win the election. Remember that one? Oh, friends. In the Old Testament, if you were a prophet and you gave a false prophecy and it didn't come true, guess what happened to you? That's correct. You know it. They got stoned. 2 Peter chapter 2, listen to this. There were false prophets among the people back then, even as there shall be false teachers among you. They will privately bring in damnable heresies. They will deny the Lord that bought them. They will bring upon themselves swift destruction. Matthew chapter 7. Jesus said, quote, beware of false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You will know them by their fruits. There you go. Now that's what Jesus said. You will know them by your fruits. If you have a prophet or somebody in the charismatic movement or Pentecostal movement that gives a false prophecy and it doesn't come true, guess what fruit that means? Take a wild guess. Matthew 24. Many false prophets shall arise, Jesus said. They will deceive many. Why? It says, because iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. You wouldn't believe how many TV preachers, well, actually you would if you listen to this radio program. I go over each one of their collapses, but five megachurch pastors collapsed in the last 2 years in just the state of Texas alone. I've done 12 different radio programs on megachurch pastors collapsing, falling into lust or financial impropriety. It's absolutely amazing. You know, that's what Jesus said here. False prophets, they will rise and they will deceive many because iniquity shall abound and the love of many shall wax cold. Mark chapter 13, Jesus said, for false Christs and false prophets shall rise, and they will show signs and wonders to seduce, if it were possible, even the very elect. Check this out. In Africa right now, it started with T.B. Joshua. Prophet T.B. Joshua, that was his name. This guy, along with several others, Pastor Chris, and now there's like 20 of them. All of them are performing strange, remarkable miracles that you can't even believe. People being healed. Dozens of people collapsing and falling to the ground, vibrating like tuning forks. All kinds of strange stuff, levitation things, all kinds of weird miracles going on in Africa among these false Christs and these false prophets. 1 John chapter 4, behold, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits. That's the Greek word dokimazo. It means to test them. Test the spirits, whether or not they are from God or not. Because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Mark chapter 13. Jesus said, quote, of that day and that hour, no man knows. No, not even the angels of heaven, neither the Son of God, but only the Father. Okay, now Mark chapter 13, remember, this was spoken at a time when Jesus was on the earth, and during his earthly ministry, he was no longer omniscient, so he didn't know everything. Now, of course, he knows everything, and he's omniscient, and he knows when the second coming is and when the rapture is and all that stuff. He's got that in the bag now, but when he was on this earth, nobody knew, including him, when the second coming of the rapture was going to be. Prophecy is a very important thing in the Bible, isn't it? Oh, absolutely. 1/5 of the entire Bible is related to prophecy. 1/3 of the entire prophecies in the Bible refer to the second coming of Jesus Christ, the Messiah. Over 100 prophecies talk about his first coming. Over 200 prophecies in the Bible mention his second coming. Of the 46 Old Testament prophets, less than 10 speak of his first coming, but 36 of them speak about the second coming of Christ. That's the Greek word parousia, the unveiling. In addition, check this out, 1,500 passages in the Old Testament refer to Christ's second coming. And 1 out of every 25 verses in the New Testament refer to the second coming of Christ. Every time the Bible mentions the first coming of the Messiah, it mentions his second coming 8 times. 8 times for every 1 time the first coming or advent of Christ is mentioned. Jesus himself, listen to this, Jesus himself referred to his second coming 21 separate times. 21 times. What kind of fruit do these false prophets have? Check it out. South African pastor Joshua Malakia predicted, as you know, you already heard about it in the news, the rapture was going to occur on September 23rd, 2025. You believe that? Yeah, of course you do. He claimed that the Lord Jesus visited him. That's right. He claimed the Lord Jesus visited him and gave him a divine vision with the date of the rapture, not the second coming, the rapture. When this thing came out, I mean, it went viral. TikTok picked it up. It was all over the world. And by the way, that the date, September 23rd, correlated to Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. I don't know if you happen to see that or not. Can you imagine that? Friend, if you're keeping a false prophets list, and if you've been listening to this program for the last few years, I filled the list up for you. I've already given you all the information of all these false prophets roaming around the country. It's just ridiculous. I did it because I was concerned about you. I test the spirits to see whether they are of God or not. That way you don't have to do it. You just tune in the radio program, bang, you got it in the bag. But clearly, when somebody predicts the rapture and it doesn't happen, remember Harold Camping a few years ago? That poor guy? That old man actually thought through reading the scriptures, they had figured out the date of the second coming. And they told their followers, and Harold Camping had been on the radio for over 40 years. He had a huge following. And he had deceived so many people, and they were selling their homes, buying RVs, traveling to elevated points in the country, on mountaintops and on high elevation areas, trying to get ready for the second coming that was coming on a certain date. I forgot what date he said it was. And of course it didn't happen. And then he said, well, it did happen, but it was a spiritual return of Christ. And then later on, to his credit, I got to give Harold Camping some credit. He actually realized that he had been deceived and made a fool out of, and he actually apologized. I know that just knocked you off your chair in the living room or caused you to have a accident with the guardrail if you're driving right now. I know you hit the guardrail. You mean some guy on the radio or TV actually apologized for something? Yes. Harold Camping apologized for what he did and said that they had misfigured it and that they shouldn't have done it, and that he was so sorry for all the people that sold everything they had, packed up their lives, went to California. A lot of them went to California. And they lost everything. Sold their homes, it was awful. Friend, if a false prophet like Harold Camping, or Todd Bentley, or, Jesse Duplantis, all these people on TV, if they give you a prophecy, Donald Trump's going to win the election. If they give you a prophecy and it does not come true, you may have picked up demons listening to them. If you did, 602-636-5800. Mike at hardcorechristianity.com. Come in for prayer and please do it quickly. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.